Welcome to Crepe Myrtle Row. My name is Lisa. Today's video is my Christmas kitchen and dining room for 2024. And as always, we're going to just start right here, stepping out of the living room up into the kitchen. And I'm going to let it play to music, a good bit of it. You know, I will point out some things. Like this up here, I collect the vintage tins, so I decided to move some of them up here. And then just add a little bit of a Christmas in. I added that little tinsel garland up there because it's just very vintage looking, although it's new. It came from Target. And then the red tinsel came from a store called Ollie's last year. I've mentioned this before. These are just some of those like stickers you can get for the holidays. I found some magnetic paper and I glued them onto that and cut them out, so now they're magnets instead of stickers. My grandson loves playing with those. Here is a lot of my Kissing Santas and Mrs. Claus. My son and daughter-in-law got me that soap dispenser set. My intention was to put lotion in one and soap in the other, but they both still have the soap that came with them, so just haven't changed that out. These are a little harder to see up here because it's so bright outside. Make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video because I am going to go back around and let you see a nighttime view. It looks so good at night. I just stand here, this spot right here, looking through all the time, just staring at the room. That cookie jar is full of the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to see how long it takes someone to open it up and try to find them. Probably not long because they already started opening the candy jars to see what I put in them. These little wreaths just made me think of vintage things. Just added some more of the tinsel up there. I just love that tinsel. It just makes me think so much of my childhood. And then this apron I found last year is a gingerbread man. And then here I have my collection of Santa Claus, the cloth teak or possible dreams, some of them are called. And that one sitting in the chair is my newest addition that I found on eBay this year. That's where I find a bunch of them. eBay, Etsy, Amazon does have some. And they're not all the same brand. Just have some vintage candy dishes here. And just various vintage pieces. And those little miniature mugs, I ordered those off of Amazon. They're by a company, Ideology. They're like miniature, like the miniature stuff that you can get. And I think Hobby Lobby carries that same brand, but I haven't seen the mugs there. So I ordered them off eBay. Amazon. Then I have the vintage book. Y'all, I have a bunch of vintage Christmas books, and I don't know where I've put them. They're somewhere in this house. You know, I have that problem of putting them somewhere thinking this is the right place to put them, and then I don't find them. Another vintage towel. And then my Christmas trees, I actually, I know you can't tell it, but I didn't put half of the ornaments out this year. What I did instead was I bought this garland and tried to fill in the tree a lot with that, because my grandson is at the age that he wants to get into things. So a lot of the ornaments I had for this tree were breakable. I mean, those technically are breakable, but he's learning not to mess with them too much. But I think I liked it with less of the stuff on there, and that garland really filled it in. And then I also wanted to mention, if you watch my haul videos, you can't really see it, but in there is that little green cone, like a mesh looking, almost like a wastebasket thing, that I shared, that I got from Walmart, that you slide over the top and it allows you to stick those picks in, and it holds them securely really well. So I highly recommend, if you find one of those, to put them on your tree if you use the picks. It came in handy a lot. And I just changed out a couple of things I had on this wall with some of my Christmas things. My mom painted the reindeer and the snowman many years ago when she used to paint or teach painting classes. Show them more. And I haven't gotten around to spraying that with the matte spray. I think I'll just leave it the shiny. I mentioned that in a haul video when I bought it. Here are some of those vintage cards that I shared, of Christmas cards. Now that in the back is a reproduction little box. But these are real cards that someone received Christmas time, and they have, you know, signed in there, but I just love them, and I had these little plastic clear flower frogs that I just set them in. And this was a recent thrift find, this little vintage piece. I have one little Santa and a Tootsie Roll thing down there. And then I just created this tier tray out of a couple of my J-Dot cake plates. And I put stuff all the way around, so even when I'm in the kitchen, I can see in here. And a lady on Etsy made this, and I bought it from her last year, a little miniature campfire marshmallow tin. I would love to have a real one, full-size one. I'm just not willing to pay hundreds of dollars to get one. So maybe one day I'll look up and come across one that doesn't cost that much. And then these were mugs that came from Aldi's last year. And then here's my shelf. Let me back up so you can see it all at once. And my vintage aprons. This was the latest one that I shared in the video. And then just got various figurines and stuff, and again, that's some of those cards up there. Some more of my kissing figurines. I shared those vintage candles in a haul. And I love the looks of it. I don't remember where I got him, but I got him last year, and I loved it because he had that vintage look to him. And this poor little Santa, his mustache was broken off. He was pretty pitiful, but I just felt sorry for him, and I had to buy him a few years ago at a thrift store. And I just left my cookbooks out this year because I thought the colors went great with the stuff. I still gotta, y'all ignore my porch out there. I've still got to clean that up, and I have some Christmas colored blankets to put out there. And my centerpiece here came about kind of by accident. It was just kind of stuff that was left over as I was putting my Christmas out, and I needed to put something on the table, so I just started grabbing pieces and sitting it out, and it came out pretty good, if I do say so myself. I kind of do this as it says there, the North Pole Bakery. So it kind of took on that theme. And then this one, he actually lights up and plays the Nutcracker theme. He's plastic, came from Walmart this year. And I bought him with the intention of all the things in here to tempt my grandson. I would have one thing that he could actually touch and play with the decor stuff, and that's it. And he already threw it down, and the batteries came flying out, and I couldn't find one battery, and I just haven't bothered replacing it. I just put it back in here, and he's kind of forgotten about it, so we'll leave it here until he starts wanting it again, and then I guess I'll have to find the batteries. And that piece I shared in the thrift haul. He actually goes on top of a candle, but I liked him better there. And I tried to put stuff on all sides, so when we're all sitting here eating, everyone can see something. Just put some of my vintage Shiny Brights here. Y'all, I would love to have some of the ones that have the little indentation. You know what I'm talking about? It looks like it goes inside and it's like a starburst. I would love to have some of those. And this piece looks like one of the vintage tree toppers, but it's not. It's a reproduction. And then here is my toy tree. And normally I take all of those toys that's down here on the bottom and I wire them inside the tree. But I just knew that was going to be more temptation than my little grandson could handle this year, is those toys being inside that tree and he couldn't touch them. So these toys are from the 60s. They have survived this long. Surely they can survive a little 18-month-old now. So I've left them out, and when he comes over, that's what he grabs to play with. And I rescued this vintage looking box out of a bin of boxes at a thrift store. They had a big bin outside of boxes that you could get for free if you wanted them, and I found that one and had to have him. And then those are just some more toys. But let me go up here and share this. I need to find a different topper, but I just can't find what I want. I thought about taking my old Monopoly game and taking some of the pieces, and you see how this is like this. This is a game, it's called World's Smallest Toys. So it's actually a Monopoly set you could play, but I glued everything on there like I wanted it. So I thought about doing something like that with the real Monopoly pieces and sticking in the top to fan out, and maybe some of the other games that I have that were mine when I was a kid. But just haven't gotten around to that. But here's just all kinds of things that make me think of my childhood. I shared this last year, that I had to have Miss Beasley. She was my favorite doll, and I bought her from the Bradford Exchange last year. That was my Christmas present to myself. And many of these toys are Fisher-Price by Hallmark, and many of them are the World's Smallest Toys, and then there's some that are from Cracker Barrel and Walmart. It's like this, I have 2 of those. I bought one from Cracker Barrel, forgot I had it, bought one from Walmart, and the one from Walmart's about half the price of the ones from Cracker Barrel. But I have all kinds, and over here I have my villages in my hutch, but these kind of were different from those. They don't really go with that set, so I set them here. And these are Department 56, these 2 are. So there's the Crayola factory and the Coca-Cola Fizz factory. And then these are just some cookie jars I had. And then here is my village. And I have a video out on how I put this together, and I'll put the link or an iCard up here so you can go watch that if you want. But the churches on the ends, my mom painted one and my grandmother painted the other one. And then the village that's all together in the back, my mom painted. And then the rest of them were thrifted finds, or some, you know, was my first houses that I got when I started collecting. And this little tree here that lights up, I just found thrifting this week and added him, or it. And I love the way the lights come in the church there. And I'll share the nighttime view is so nice of this. And I just love all the little pieces. And I shared this when I did the showing how to put it together, how I look inside the buildings and you can see things. And then, like I said, you can go watch that video to get an idea of how I put it all together. And I think I've even maybe changed some stuff around a little bit since I did that video. But I love the Christmas villages, and that just works perfectly for me on these, the hutch there. And I explain how I'm able to do that in that video. So if you have a hutch and you want to do a village, definitely go watch that one, and you'll see how I made it possible to do all of that on those shelves. And then here is my little gingerbread houses. We'll start up here with my Coke crate. I took a lot of the pieces out this year and put Christmas things in there. So these were just some of the little Dollar Tree village people that went with the gingerbread themed stuff. And I love this piece. There's just so much to look at. That does light up, but I don't have lights in it because it would be the only one that does, so I didn't put them in there. But yeah, everyone that comes to visit, they like to just sit here and really look over this and take it all in because there's so many little pieces. Anything that's like cooking, baking thing, they're making little pies there. I love to collect for my Christmas stuff. And that little gingerbread lights up. But he doesn't have a timer on him, so most of the time I don't light him up.